pulled his hands up in front of his chest, his head leaning back even farther, almost as if he thought Tom was coming at him. The kid so clearly didn't want to be touched that Tom yanked his hand, about to grab the guy's arm for balance, back to his own shoulder, and then had to catch himself before he stumbled and tripped over his own feet. "Sorry," he muttered, not entirely sure what he was apologizing for. Probably for being here, which, by the look on the kid's face, was not cause for a happy joy party. His roommate, he assumed, grimaced and waved a hand in the air as if to say, "Ignore, please." He looked at Tom for a minute, not saying a word. Finally, he raised an eyebrow and looked pointedly from Tom to the half-open duffel on the floor, wrinkled clothes spilling out like the stuffing from an old couch with a split in the seat. Tom looked back at him, caught himself leaning forward and drifting into an upright snooze after a moment, and stood up again. What were they talking about? "Dude," the kid waved a hand in front of Tom's face. "Wake up, guy. What the hell are you doing in my room?" "Oh, right. Introductions. I'm your roommate." He couldn't tell if it was shock or irritation on the kid's face. What the fuck was his name again? They'd put it on the sheet with the rest of the info, while apologizing that they didn't have a single for him like most of the Perkins students enjoyed, but all Tom could remember was 23B. Damn, way to make a good impression. "Sorry, Tom." He stuck his hand out. "Aw, hell no." The kid had the grace to look a little abashed when Tom took a step back at his vehement denial, but he didn't back down. "I do not have a roommate. The dean promised me a single. I've been here for 3 days. Nobody told me anything about a roommate." Tom would have felt bad for him if he weren't so fucking exhausted. Screw the pillows. He'd just lie down on the floor and wrap himself up in a sweatshirt if he had to. "Sorry, man. The paper says 23B. He held up the crumpled letter he'd kept in his wallet for 2 months, almost jerked it away when the kid reached for it. He had to remind himself that he was actually here, back at school after being gone for 15 months, and he didn't need that letter anymore to prove it to himself. He let go. Shit. The kid glared at the letter and started pacing back and forth between Tom and the door, as if he were thinking about busting out into the hall and calling for help to remove the intruder from his room. But they promised. When he looked up for one unguarded moment, Tom was shocked to see his eyes glitter with tears that weren't allowed to spill over carefully applied black liner around thickly lashed eyes. That struck Tom as unusual enough to inspire him to take an actual look at his new roommate. The kid looked like some kind of skinny British rock star, tight black jeans slung low and held up with a studded metal belt. He wore a skin-tight t-shirt with a band name on it that Tom was sure he should recognize, bright green Chuck Taylors and a wrist cuff that matched the belt. Straight, jet-black hair that spilled over his face, blocking most of one eye, giving an odd pirate effect to his glares, which he was shoveling in Tom's direction like a pile of shit that needed to be tossed out of a stable. Tom felt irritation give an adrenaline jumpstart to his system. Fuck. If he got into an argument with this kid, it'd rile him up and take him that much longer to settle down and get to sleep. He was too tired to hold up his end of a debate. He'd end up lying there, wherever there turned out to be, and he was not kidding about the floor, coming up with all his good one-liners long after they'd stopped talking to each other and become the kind of roommates that had to draw a line with tape down the middle of the room and forbid each other to cross it. The kid was still pushing back at him, now practically throwing the letter in his face. "Listen, I don't know why they sent you that piece of crap in epistolary form, but the dean promised me a single, and I guarantee you this is a mistake." He crossed his arms over his slim chest and nodded. "Great, kid. I'm thrilled for you, even though I don't have the faintest fucking clue what you're talking about. New rule, people using big words when he was dead tired would be shot. But it's 9 p.m. on Sunday night. Nobody's gonna straighten this out until tomorrow morning. So, since I have a freaking piece of paper that says I should sleep here, maybe I can just—" A huge yawn ripped out of his mouth, catching him off guard mid-sentence. "Sorry, sleep here." He saw the doubt creeping in halfway through his little speech. Really, there was nothing they could do about it tonight.